Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV. We're back for another episode of F1 Legends, and I'm about to put the link in the chat now. So please do me a favor, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1.1k, so please, it's imperative you do that. Please, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Right, and donate to the charity. Like I say, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, share on your socials, and donate to the Just Giving page link. Link is in the description below, as always, or via a super chat or sticker if you intend to support the chat and support the channel as well. Just Giving page. 100% of it goes to the charity via super chat or super sticker after YouTube taking what they want from it. 30% will go to 80% goes to the charity. 20% just goes to the running of the channel. So please make sure you do that. It's imperative you do that. It will help us a great deal. But yeah, we're gonna move on anyway. Right, moving on. We're talking about episode 6, and episode 6 is about a man who came in as a neurosurgeon but loved his F1 or loved his motor racing, and his impact on the sport was in just beyond belief. And it's one of the main reasons, or maybe the main reason, why F1 is so safe now, in its safety and design, along with others like Max Mosley, who was the president of the FIA, who funded his research to let this man go on and make it safe to a scientific level, and no expense spared. You had Charlie Whiting, which we might do at some point. I was going to do him before Max Mosley passed away, actually, so I've got to do him at some point. But yeah, Charlie Whiting, who's the former race director, who again strived to make F1 cars safe, as well as making the racing safe. Obviously allowing things to go on, like certain incidents and that, but mainly trying to make sure there's no dangerous acts or any dangerous foul play on the race circuit. But this guy was the reason why in the medical facilities and all the medical facilities, the safety facilities and safety aspects are state of the art in F1, as well as the cars. So this guy is about Professor Sid Watkins. Professor Sid Watkins, and for people who don't know who he is, hang on, put that back up. So Professor Sid Watkins. Reverend John, good afternoon to you. How are you doing? If you can, mate, and if you can get on, it'd be really helpful. If not, please just share your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you share it, mate. Share it on your socials. Get people involved. I'll just let the actual F1 community know. If you let the F1, if you can let people go on. Right. I'm just gonna add. So I just gotta do this. Um, Right, I don't know why it's doing this. I don't know why it's doing this. Sorry, bear with me a minute. Attention. Right, let me just have a look. Sorry, just gonna. Sorry, mate. Sorry, guys. Give me just 2 seconds. Just gonna... Sorry, just a minute, man. Um. Right, sorry, guys. I'm very sorry about that. What's going on here? For fuck's sake! Right, smash that like button. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. I'm just gonna quickly. Right. Right. I'm gonna let me have a look. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think. We can see there it is. Right. Right. We'll get back to that in a minute. But anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. Big up, Stephen. Hello. Hi, Mina. How are you? I don't know if you've been in the chat before, but if you haven't, do smash that like button. Big up, Miss Mel, as usual. Like I said, the link is in the description, is in the chat. Anyone wants to come on, they're more than welcome to. Professor Sid Watkins, the man who made F1 a same place, sadly missed, and what a legacy he made. Absolutely spot on. Right, we're gonna look into this guy's life, his profession, just everything about him and why he was so influential to the Formula One. And let's have a look. Just go for the Wikipedia one. So, unfortunately, he passed away 12th of September 2012. He was only just, he was 84. He was born in Liverpool, England in 1928. They didn't really have a Liverpool. Didn't sound like he had a Liverpool accent, but then he might have done at a younger age. But I knew him when he was like getting really old, and when he was about 70, because I started watching F1 when I was about 20, 2000. So when I was about 4 or 5. So, but yeah, his titles in F1 were President of the FIA Institute for Motorsport Safety, former F1 Safety Medical Delegate, and former head of the Formula One on-track medical team. His successor was Gary Hartstein, who's dead to this day, isn't he? Hartstein did not have his contract renewed. From delegates, his successor was chief medical. No, sorry, he took over in 2005, and he didn't have his contract renewed in September and December 2012, which was obviously the same year he died. His predecessor died, and Ian Roberts took over from there as the chief officer, but that's not about him. It's about Sid Watkins, because he was the one. Used to be was a former neurosurgeon, born in Liverpool, enrolled at the University of Liverpool, graduated in 1952. Later served 4 years in the Royal Army Medical Corps before specialising in neurosurgery in Oxford and later in London. Watkins also acted as a racetrack doctor at weekends, which he continued at Watkins Glen International when he appointed a professor of neurosurgery at the State University of New York Upstate Medical Facility in Syracuse. At a meeting with Brabham team boss Bernie Eccleston, he was offered the role of the FIA Formula One Safety and Medical Delegate, head of the Formula One on-track medical team, and first responder in the case of a crash, a role which Watkins performed for 26 years. He helped save the lives of many drivers, including Gerhard Berger, Martin Donnelly, Eric Kumas, Barrichello, Wendlinger, Hakkinen had a massive accident, and in Adelaide, and Martin Donnelly. If you watch the Senna film, you see if you see the Senna film, you see 1990 Spanish Grand Prix, that accident. It was horrific. It was horrific. Him being attached to the seat where his safety belts was actually he was the car was in bits, like torn in half in bits, and he was literally he was thrown from the car onto the floor. It was that violent of an accident, right? And looked like he was just dead. He looked like he was dead. He was lying in the middle of the road, from being thrown from the car, and somehow he survived. But he never raced again. He couldn't cope with the trauma from that. So yeah, man, it's sad to hear. Early life, he was born. He had 6 children in the end. So Sid Watkins, though, in early life, born in Liverpool to Wallace and Jessica Watkins. Wallace was originally a coal miner from Gloucestershire, but moved to Liverpool during the Great Depression in the 1930s, where he started a small business, initially repairing bicycles, before progressing to motor vehicle repairs. Watkins worked for his father at the garage until he was 25. He had 2 brothers and sister. Watkins gained a scholarship at Prescott Grammar School. He told his father that he wanted to become a doctor, an idea that his father disapproved. Watkins graduated as a Doctor of Medicine from the University of Liverpool in 1956. During his time there, he carried out research on the effects of heat stress on performance, finding that increased heat generally greatly affected intellectual performance. This research-related proved useful as part of his work in motor racing. Following graduation, he served in the Royal Medical Corps in West Africa for about 4 years. He completed in his motorsport event, which was Ford Zodiac in 1955, which is like a West African rally. Retiring from the event after winning the first stage. Returned to the UK in 1958, specialised in neurosurgery at Radcliffe Infirmary, Oxford. And it was in 1961 when he took up the sport, his first motorsport event in a medical capacity at a kart race at Brands Hatch. During his free time, he acted as a race doctor at the Silverstone circuit. Upon receiving an offer to be a professor of neurosurgery at State University in New York in 1962, Watkins moved to Syracuse, New York, and continued his interest in motorsport at the Watkins circuit. Watkins took 4 members to the circuit and his own equipment due to the lack of supplies provided by circuit officials. He returned to England in 1970, acted as the head of neurosurgery at the London Hospital, and was invited to join the RAC medical panel the same year. But in the 1970s came the big thing. 1978, Bernie Ecclestone, who was at the time chief executive of the Formula One Constructors Association, or FCA, who offered Watkins the position of Formula One race doctor. Ecclestone had checked in for a medical problem and offered Watkins 35 grand for a year for the entire season. Watkins had to pay airfares, hotel bills, rent cars, and all incidental expenses. Watkins accepted and attended his first race at the Swedish Grand Prix in 1978. Outside of the Grand Prix weekends, he remained in a position as neurosurgeon in London. His first day as the safety and medical delegate was at Brands Hatch to introduce himself to the drivers. Watkins did not attend private test day sessions due to the large number of sessions held over the course of a year. His appointment initially, though, was hostile by some race circuits, who saw his appointment as a way of monitoring their performance. At the time, medical facilities would sometimes consist of nothing more than a tent. At the 1978 Italian Grand Prix, Ronnie Peterson crashed heavily on the first lap, with the car catching fire. And I think fellow drivers Regazzoni, Di Palli, and Hunt pulled in from the wreckage. By the time Watkins arrived at the scene, the Italian police had formed a human wall to prevent people from entering the area. Watkins was initially stopped from assisting with the treatment, and there was a long delay, approximately about 18 minutes before the ambulance arrived to take Pearson to the hospital. But unfortunately, he died the following day after following the race. Watkins demanded that Eccleston provide better safety equipment, an anaesthetist, and a medical car, and a medical helicopter medevac. All were provided in the next race in the United States. In addition, it was decided that the medical car containing Watkins would follow the racing cars for the first lap of the race to provide immediate help in the event of an accident. But the augurs at Hockenheim had denied Watkins access to the race control, and Eccleston threatened to stand in front of the grid and order the drivers out of their cars, literally in front of them. Basically, how it went down is that the stewards went and said, or the racing facilities, they said, no, we can't. We're not having you. We're not having you start on the starting grid. So Bernie Eccleston said, right, everyone pack your bags. Tell everyone pack your bags. We're leaving, right? And the promoter said, what am I supposed to do with 180,000 Germans all in the stands? He said, you can all tell them to go fuck themselves. so they were like, yeah, okay, the doctor can come back in. But yeah, let's go for some comments first. If the recent crash that happened to Roman last year, he would have died if it wasn't for Professor Sid Watkins. Absolutely. Sid Watkins was a hero. His legacy is one of the reasons drivers walk away from these horrific crashes. Absolutely. Can't agree more. Interesting. Leicester till I die. Big up yourself. Interesting watch. Yeah, if you want to learn more, please do that. U385. I should be. Okay, I should be. Yeah, that safety device is introduced due to Sid, such as the hands device, and those introduced as a result of his legacy of F1 safety, such as the Halo, are undoubtedly the reason for this. Actually, what's up, bro? Big up, Jordan. How are you? Big up, Charlie. Like I said, should be there. Definitely should be there. Was watching live during Suzuka 2014. It was the first time I've seen this fatal accident. Had I not been a fan for many years, I don't know if I would have even been able to keep watching the sport. Absolutely, mate. I mean, that was just no one even. That's the thing, because no one has live footage, like proper. Even like because the race director didn't show it live. They didn't show the incident live. They didn't see Bianchi go off the road. Even when people were putting the pictures, they said, "Well, where's Bianchi? He was like lapping. I mean, where is he now? Because he's not in the back of the grid." So yeah, it wasn't until like when the race stopped and they told they weren't restarting the race because of what's going on, and they didn't realize, shit. And obviously he died months later, just before the Hungarian Grand Prix in 2015, which was about, I'd say it was September, September, October, about 3 months from a year. So about 9 months later, he passed away. So tragic. Whilst motorsport is of course inherently dangerous, and given enough time, fatalities are unfortunately unavoidable reality of F1. I'm glad that that reality didn't rear its ugly head this time. Yeah, and that's the thing. If people think F1 is going to be totally safe, you're talking out your ass. Simple as that. You are talking out of your ass. As simple as that. It's never going to be safe. Just said in the back of every ticket. Right, I could show the ticket I got from the 2019 Grand Prix. Right, and again, it says motorsport is dangerous. Simple. So, unfortunately, you are going to get. There is going to be one freak accident in. As much as they try and be proactive, it's always going to be an accident beforehand that's going to realise that they've not seen something there. Something out of the ordinary happens that catches them out, and unfortunately costs the driver. That's the simple truth of F1. And if you can't get your head around that, just don't watch the sport, because that's the whole point of it. That's the whole point. It's you're racing on the limit, but you also like living on the edge of it. So in 1980s, obviously the FIA motorsports governing body at the time, or FIA as we know now, appointed a medical commission with Watkins elected president. In 1982 Grand Prix of Belgium, Watkins sent with the medical car behind Roland Buinasiredi. If I said that wrong, I do apologise. One of the drivers, as it headed to the scene of Jules Verne's serious accident and placed placed the tube into his windpipe for ventilation with his heart in normal condition. Villeneuve was airlifted by a helicopter to Gus Wisberg Hospital in Leuven, and Watkins spoke to Jules Villeneuve's wife, Joanne, who was at her home in Monaco when 1979 champion Jody Scheckter informed her of the news. Joanne flew to Belgium along with Scheckter's wife to speak with Watkins. Joanne and Watkins both accepted the decision to turn off the respirator. Villeneuve then obviously passed away. Canadian Grand Prix later that year, Watkins had to deal with the fatal accident of Riccardo Paletti on the first lap of the race. Watkins got to Paletti's car 16 seconds after the impact and opened the visor of the helmet to see his blown pupils. Then, before any medical attention could be received, Paletti's car caught fire to the petrol tank having ruptured and ignited. Watkins had suitable clothing to prevent him from suffering severe burns, but his hands were affected. After he extinguished the fire, he took off his gloves to put an airway into Paletti's throat, but Watkins' boots had melted in the fire. At the British Grand Prix, Watkins received a silver trophy during a driver's briefing. The trophy reads, "To Prof, our thanks for your invaluable contributions to Air Formula One. Nice to know you are there." In 1986, Watkins had the responsibility for caring for Frank Williams, who sustained spinal cord injuries in a car crash on a public road. These are all just crashes that kept coming and coming, and it's down to him doing it to deal with it. We've got Brethren John, mate. How are you?
Hey mate, I'm good. Hope you're well. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming on, man. How are you?
I'm great. It's unfortunate that I came late. Work. But I was in the
Yeah,
comment section. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Thanks for coming on.
No, thank you.
Um, I'm sure like Monday, right? You're gonna make sure you come on Monday after you submit the lead back to Hamilton again.
Think again. We're not going to, give up
Oh
that
yeah, you are.
easily. Well, like it's inevitable. Come on, mate. Yes, it's inevitable that yeah, you're
Hamilton's
going to
gonna
pass.
roll over. Is gonna roll him over. Like,
Yeah.
take him in any direction and just say bye.
You know what? You know what? You know what? Like of course yes, in 2020 last year there was no race in Baku, but like it's just astonishing that in the last 3 years Mercedes has really been dominant.
Yeah, I
Like you
think
remember the
Baku
lockup.
was Baku was a false was Baku 2018 was a bit false, to be honest, because obviously Vettel was the fastest, to be
Oh
honest.
yes, oh
He just
yes,
made that mistake in turn one, and obviously with
oh
the
yes.
safety car and everything.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Yeah, the safety, and it was like how unfortunate of Bottas. Isn't it? Was that incident of Bottas whereby he just had a puncture, but
mm,
yeah, yeah, but
yeah,
now
some
he
people are obviously saying it's Hamilton put that freaking piece there, yeah, didn't he?
exactly, exactly conspiracy theories. Yeah,
Oh yeah, was that also the crash that oh yeah, that was the crash,
yes, the
didn't it?
Red Bull.
You
Yeah,
your Red Bull
Ricard.
had a Vettel Weber no
Ah,
2.0, didn't you?
very well. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
remember watching
It
that race. He
happened.
said
Yeah.
this is going to end up like Turkey. This is going to end up like Turkey,
Yeah, and if
and they
you
both
still
chickened
recall.
out.
Yeah, obviously what you expect. And also it was like you still remember Alonso, like with the puncher, but still like four
Yeah, got it back on
got
two
points.
wheels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
so
just
like
also ask. I
yeah.
just also ask. Like during that season, right? You had the Ricardo
Oh
retire.
yes.
Monaco only won it because it's literally because it's now at Monaco and you can't get past anyone. So if you
Yeah.
drive fast, it'll slower. Like
Yeah.
he's getting no power, no power, no power, no power. And like, did you ever go to Duracell and said, look, we need some more batteries? Because obviously they might have worked more than your fucking ERS system.
Ah, come on, man. Don't
I really
forget
feel
that.
that like you get into a good position and then, like 5 seconds later, it don't go.
Don't
Better
worry, we
fucked us
still
over. We got no go. We don't go anywhere.
don't worry, we still have the flexi wings, remember?
Yeah, your fucking limbo wings, right?
Yeah.
Fucking limbo chicken wings.
you have you had Das, come on. So you do not
Yeah,
have any right at all.
yeah.
You don't have any
You
right.
got us banned. You got us banned from it. So no.
You know what? You know
Right.
what? You know what?
It's not supposed to move during a Grand Prix.
Come on, mate. Come on. The thing is that, like before the season started, everything was
All you needed
approved.
to do is fly
Everything was
off.
approved. Come
When it
on.
flies off, then it's going to be banned. It's banned in
You know what?
France, but
Yeah, yeah,
if it's
yeah,
banned
of
in France,
course.
but then we could go like, well, that gave an advantage in Monaco. That gave him an advantage in Azerbaijan. So
Well,
well, that's not fair.
well, well, you know what? You know what? The mere fact that like you were given the license of actually just using it for one season, I do not see anything wrong at all. Especially, like right now we're having the most, like competitive battles, in the last 5 years. So okay, well, like I'm totally
Yeah,
eliminating the
and as
battle
for
battle, but
Horner, right? There's a reason why Mercedes have become so dominant, right? It's
yeah,
very weird how Hamilton joins Mercedes, and all of a sudden McLaren have fallen down from grace, right?
yeah,
And Mercedes have now become really, really good.
exactly.
Is yeah, I think Hamilton knows his shit actually, right?
Yeah.
Mind your necking.
But you know what? That was a bold move. I mean, that was a bold move. And like such bold moves really makes things interesting. Such
Nah, it's
that
Horner
like
chatting bullshit again.
yeah. But you know what? You know what? I really will not be surprised. I won't be surprised if Warner tries to go for like George Russell. I won't be surprised, especially like him every time
He needs to get out of it.
yeah.
He
But
needs
aren't
to.
you worried about that?
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, like
Okay,
like
sorry. We
I'm
easily
sure
get carried away.
let's just say I'm sure if Sid Watkins was here and he saw Max Verstappen go past the yellow at full at full pelt just to get a lap in, I wouldn't think you'd be too happy.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely.
But
You know,
anyway,
yeah, and like on that point, it this really also makes me even respect, like Lewis, like say Lewis, because like what happened, like like in the Spanish, like Grand Prix, and also what also happened in was it Imola, whereby he just like on the first turn, usually it's always the first turn. Come on. And like you see, come on. Yeah, but now like it really makes me wonder to say this, like if it was another driver, would
mm,
Max really do that? Or perhaps he just takes advantage that like, well, I know that Lewis, like
I think he
who,
would have done.
well,
I think he would have done it anyway because he had pole position.
yeah,
He had
because
pole
he
position in the bag, so he didn't need to do it. And
exactly,
what was
yeah.
even winding me up that the FIA didn't pick it up until like joked about it. In how are you joking about it? Why was if the
It's
marshals there?
amazing. It's
If
beyond me, mate.
but what happens if you like come out of that too? If you've put the power down too early, and the marshal's there treating to Bottas, you'll go straight into the marshal.
Yeah, 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 very.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very
not a
true.
joke, mate. It's not a
It's
joke.
very true. It's very true, yeah, it's very true. But interesting times. I can't wait. We all know that, like Mercedes is going to win. We all know that Sir Lewis is going to, win it. But I do not think that, the FIA would do anything about the flexi wings because, like already
They
we're
are.
having an
They're
interesting.
banning them in France.
Well, yes, they say that, like, is it more than, how many, 1 degree, right? Yeah, like,
Yeah, I think that no, they said that they're not going to be moving from now on. They've got to be
can't they
structured in
just,
the same place
yeah,
because the thing is that it's adjusting the setup as well. Right, it's
yeah,
giving you more straight line speed, and then also it's giving you more cornering speed when it moves again. So it's
yeah,
adjusting the setup during a Grand Prix. So
exactly. I'm not
um,
against that. I'm not against that, but like,
and that's why I stopped that in the first place.
yeah, exactly. That's, and also, like the pink Mercedes, like everyone, like you remember, everyone was
The brake
protesting,
ducts.
but yeah, but now because it's Red Bull, like they
Well,
just
no,
have to.
I think yeah. Well, look, everyone at Balm um with Red Bull is the
Mm.
fact that like um people still protest. I mean that people stage there's nothing wrong with it apart from the brake ducts. They received inside information,
Exactly. Yes.
whether it's bought or not. So anyway, we're gonna move on
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we've got to right. So 1987, it goes another crash again with the San Marino Grand Prix during practice. He was declared unfit to race by Watkins. Nelson Piquet was in the San Marino Grand Prix, despite it only being the second race of the season. Piquet tried to persuade the officials to allow him to compete, knowing any lost points could lose him the championship, which he ultimately won in the end. In response, Watkins threatened to resign if overruled. The officials opted to support Watkins, and Piquet set out the race, later admitting that it was the correct decision. So, yeah. Obviously, 1994 was probably for him the one that hit him the most, and it's not because of 92 with Watkins founded Brain and Spine Foundation in 1992, a charity that aims to improve the prevention, treatment, and care of people affected by disorders of brain and spine. He was a patron of the foundation, but in 1994, Watkins had to attend his close personal friend, three-time world champion Ayrton Senna. Um, uh, following an accident which claimed his life. Watkins had concerns about Senna's mental state following two crashes earlier in the weekend that had injured Senna's countryman and protege Rubens Barrichello and killed Warren Ratzenberger. And that one, that was like, I think he was dead
Yeah.
by the time he stopped because they were literally got him out of the car and they were already doing like cardiac, um, like trying to revive him. So, um, yeah, suggesting that to him that they both leave and go fishing and forget about the race. Um, Early hitting the race, Senna hit the retaining wall at 140 miles an hour, and Watkins had to first attend to the driver. He reported that based on what he ascertained on arriving at the scene of the accident, and that there was no chance Senna could have been saved due to the graveness of his head injury that he suffered. Watkins had also noticed Senna sigh and his body relaxed, and that he thought his spirit had gone, though he wasn't religious. But that's where it all changed, really,
Yeah.
because the FIA Expert Advisory Safety Committee was set up in 1994 following the race, and Watkins was appointed its chairman. Watkins was also responsible for setting up Rally Research Group and Karting Research Group in 2003. The three groups brought together in 2004 as the FIA Institute for Motorsport Safety, and with Watkins as president. So, yeah, this is where it started becoming where no expense was spared, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, 1995, Rubens Barrichello and Max Papis failed their drugs test after a Saturday qualifying session when they both tested positive for ephedrine. Watkins later argued that ephedrine had no effect on drivers' ability, and that Formula One should not exactly use the same list as International Olympic Committee in any case. At the 1995 Australian Grand Prix, Mika Hakkinen crashed heavily during the Friday qualifying session at the Brewery Bend at high speed during to a puncture he had sustained by one of his tyres. Hakkinen was immediately unconscious, but did not hit his head against the surrounding wall or cockpit.
Mm.
Two volunteer doctors, Jeremy Lockins and Stevie Lewis, arrived at the scene in 15 seconds, with Watkins arriving last and taking the action of restarting Hakkins' heart twice and performing quick hydrotomy at the circuit that side of the track, which he later described as the most satisfying experience during his time in the sport.
Yeah.
Watkins was awarded the Mario Andretti Award for Medical Excellence in 1996 after that. So it's more from that point is where money was being pumped at no expense spared by the FIA
Yeah.
to make it safe. It's uh, so he's sort of like given a blank check. So what do you say to that?
Well, like from the period whereby, like, in the year 96, right? When he was
Yeah,
rewarded. Yeah, I was like, I'm happy that, like, he was appreciated for all his contribution, and that also, like, FIA was not that reluctant in terms of forking out the money, but I really think it was too much, too much, too much. Because even if you still recall, like, when he was given the offer, I'm sure back in the days, 35,000 per year, like, was it 35,000, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was.
36,000 a year.
Yes, and if you take a look, like, back in that, back in those times, like, that was a huge,
That was a
huge,
lot of money.
yeah, a huge amount of, yeah, huge amount of money. Sorry.
Yeah, just was a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah.
Big up Talk Menu. Please do smash that like button, smash that subscribe button and share button. Please do share it on all your socials. It really does help. And if you can donate to the Just Giving page link, please do that now. We're trying to get to 2 grand on that by the end of the year. Don't forget charity fundraising quiz 8 p.m. Saturday. Hopefully I can get a
Yes.
Tottenham fan and a Liverpool fan. Um,
Oh, wow.
Hard to find. right? But if you can, that'd be great. So if yeah, let's
Yeah,
But anyway, that's gonna be a great stream. We've got Carefree USG, Flawless, Yan
yeah,
City. It's gonna be great.
that's good.
So yeah. Yeah, 2000s, 2002, was made an officer of the Order of the British Empire for his recognition for his work in improving safety in Grand Prix motor racing. Watkins acted in the defence of David Bessenger in an inquiry into practices into services at the Alfred Hospital, Melbourne, where Marshal Graham Beveridge died after being struck by a wheel from Jack Villeneuve's car in 2001
Yeah.
in the Australian. Oh, that was the Marshall, yeah, in 2001 following their accident with Ralph Schumacher, which was a big accident.
Yeah,
And
yeah, heard of that.
University of Liverpool presented him with an honorary doctorate to a ceremony in London, Liverpool, July 8th, 2004. September 2004, Watkins, along with Gary Hartstein, which who eventually took over from him, were firstly
Yeah.
seen when Peter Phillips and three other team members were travelling on the same stretch of the road as Watkins and Hartstein when their van
Oh
collided with
yes,
another
I
car at
remember.
high speed. And in October 2004, yeah, Watkins became the first president of the FIA Foundation for Automobile and Society, and in December of that year, he became president of the FIA Institute for Motorsport Safety,
Wait,
both
Stephen.
created in honor of the FIA's 100th anniversary. Go on.
Like I just wanted to say, didn't he retire in 2004? Wasn't it 2004? Or I stand to
Was
be
that?
corrected. No, I'm saying didn't Watkins retire in 2004? Wasn't it
No, it's
2004 when he
2005.
yeah, right, okay, thanks.
I was about to,
I thought.
yeah, it was 2005. We get to that just now,
Oh.
actually.
Okay, cool.
Uh, since his retirement, the FIA has recognised Watkins for being a large part responsible for the modernisation of medical standards in Formula One. On January 20th of January 2005, Watkins announced his retirement from his various medical positions of the FIA, but stated his intention to continue as president of the FIA Institute for Motorsport Safety.
Oh,
FIA President Max Mosley appointed Watkins' longtime deputy Gary Hartstein as his successor. Following his departure, Mosley had remarked that Professor Sid Watkins had made a unique contribution to improving the standards of safety and medical intervention throughout motorsport. In September 2005, a campaign to knight Watkins was started by a group of supporters,
mm,
and 2008, Watkins was honoured for an award, Most Astounding Contribution to Motorsport Industry, with this award going presented by Martin Bundle at the House of Lords. And December 2011 was announced that Watkins had stepped down as president of the FIA Institute, but would continue in an honorary role. The day after retirement, he received the FIA Academy Gold Medal for
wow,
Motorsport at the official FIA prize giving gala in Dubai. Since
wow,
1998, each year the Motorsport Safety Fund organises Watkins Lecture, which takes place at the Auto Sport International Show National Experience Exhibition Centre in Birmingham. Lectures focus on motorsports safety related matters, delivered with guest speakers, Max Mosley, through
wow,
such as Max Mosley was born, and others. Watkins himself delivered an inaugural lecture and again in 2007. And yeah, and unfortunately, and Watkins died on 12th of September 2012, just before the Singapore Grand Prix at the King Area 7th Hospital in London.
mm,
Um, Tributes to Watkins were paid by many drivers who competed in Formula One and others figures within the sport. Watkins was buried uh, in a private ceremony on the border of Scotland. This was followed by a memorial service, and um, the service was attended by 200 people, included figures from within Formula One. At the Singapore Grand Prix, a minute's silence was held in his honour, and a book of remembrance was available for people to sign their condolences during the weekend. The book was presented to the Watkins family on behalf of the FIA, the FIA Institute, and the Formula One community. 2000, December 2012, Top Gear magazine named Sid one of the men of the year 2012 for saving lives in Formula One. Richard Hammond has said he was a legend throughout motorsport, and he's still saving lives. Now he is gone. A new
Wow.
building bearing Watkins' name has been opened at the Anne Princess Royal at
Wow.
Walton NHS Trust in Vazacurly, uh, Vazak Curly, Liverpool on 15th of December 2015. Her Royal Highness unveiled a commemorative plaque and bust of Watkins in honour of his contribution to both motorsport and neurosurgery.
Wow.
Not some legacy to live.
Really, you can say that again.
What a legacy to leave behind. And the fact is that as well is that yeah, and it's where would the sport be now if it weren't for Sid Watkins in the sport?
You can say that
God
again.
knows.
You can say that again. And
Right. I
just
mean,
maybe, yeah,
Hamilton's accident in 2007, would he have survived that?
definitely not at all.
That's the thing. Would any of these drivers that have had these accidents survive what they've done now?
Hmm.
Probably not.
Never, never at all. Even, like not going too far, like like last year, Roman Grosjean, would he had
Yeah.
survived? Definitely not at all. And like you see the advancement that it was like that is now happening, like the Halo when it came, like no one even expected, like it would be like it would
Yeah.
save, like Roman. Because I'm sure if there was no Halo, you can just try to imagine what was going to happen. And through
Oh, but yeah,
these
Roman would have been dead.
yeah, true. And through this advancement was all, like it all goes back to, like Watkins with what he did. And maybe just to say something, like I'm really happy and excited, about like the shows that you are putting here on the channel. They're really absolutely good because if you take a look, like the last two shows that we had was one of McLaren. McLaren, not a champion, like not a dominating, like team, but it contributed, like
Oh,
the
yeah, the
MPEF.
MB4 one.
Yeah, yeah, one, yeah, like how it changed, Formula One. Even if you take a look at say Jackie Stewart, like yes, he was
Yeah,
a champion, but always advocating, like for
safety as well.
safety. So like if we just try to combine all these three things, like like the last three shows, including this one, you see, like what a massive impact it has really contributed, like to the
And you
motorsport
changed
world.
the people's opinion as
Exactly,
well, because people
exactly.
thought that was part of the sport. You were the best driver to be able to
Yes,
survive
exactly.
that and not make mistakes that will kill you. So
Exactly, yes, you see.
now it's completely changed the mindset. Is that no,
Ye-
we got to have safety no matter what.
Exactly, you see, and that is, like the important thing and
Hence
the
why we don't have races like Spa in 1960 where it was
oh
so
yes, oh
bad
yes,
that
oh
it's
yes.
like a river.
You can say that again. You can say that again. Yeah. So like for me, like it's like big up to you, like for all these things that
That's
you
the thing.
are
If people
putting.
want to know about F1, you need to learn the history of it. You need to learn
Exactly.
what what goes on in the background, the politics, the history,
Exactly.
the
Exactly.
drama. Because if you
Exactly.
understand all of that, it makes
Yeah.
more sense when you're watching a sport. I watched the IndyCar,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yes. Yeah.
500. It was a great race. It was a great
Oh,
race, but
oh yes, I saw the
I'm
highlights.
lost about like who's going to be winning. Like I'm lost. It's like what's going on in the background. What's the big talking
Exactly.
points? Why you're lost in the sense. So if you know what's going on because like you watch shows that give you this content,
Yes, and that
then you
is
don't see it and understand the sport a lot more. So
exactly, and that's the beauty of it. Like as you alluded, like you were saying that obviously, yes, it's unfortunate that like there's going to be like accidents, loss of life, etc. But the development that has been done by FIA and also Watkins has been very much massive. So yeah, I'm happy about that and big up. Thank you so much for that. It
yeah,
really is
it's what I
impactful.
want to do because I love doing these shows and
Yeah,
I'm not
me
doing any
too.
shows to be honest. So if you don't like what you're doing, you might as well just not bother doing it.
Exactly. You
So
see, yeah, yeah,
anyway, we're gonna have to wrap it up there because I need to
yeah,
jump on that daily as well. But yeah, thanks for coming on as usual, mate.
Ah, thank you as
Um,
always for
yeah,
inviting.
where can I find you?
On Twitter. I don't have a channel, but like I'm always here. Well, like this is almost like my channel too, in terms of Formula One. Like because we're given a voice. So yeah, they can find me on Twitter at Brethren John. And yeah, or you can just always see me here. Please like, subscribe, and donate. Please, like for the charity, or the proceeds go to the charity. And also, please do not skip the ads that you always see. It will also help the channel to grow. Thank you so much, Stephen, for having me. Really
No, no
appreciate it.
worries. No, thank
Yeah,
you. And anyway, we're gonna wrap it up there. Do smash, like you said, do smash that like button and subscribe button. We're back
yeah,
at 6 p.m. for the Hot of the Press show, talking about Ancelotti's sudden departure, but we're also the main talking about it, obviously is Chelsea and their Champions League win. But yeah, yeah. Until then, everyone stay safe, stay well, and
cheers.
we'll speak to you later on. Until then, take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.